friend recently told me she wished she was more confident about a big decision. My response is basically, you won't feel confident until you start doing the work and making a plan. We spend a lot of time talking about confidence as if it's some internal state we can somehow summon, like believe in yourself, trust your gut, just be more confident. But people can't just decide to feel confident about something they've never done before, and I'm not sure they should anyway. Confidence needs backup. It needs the receipts. My friend was considering doing something that would require a lot of preparation and research, but she hadn't done much of that yet. She was frustrated that she couldn't just trust herself to know she could do it. I thought her lack of confidence made perfect sense. Why should she be confident yet? Instead of trying to convince herself that she could do it, she should start figuring out how she would do it. Research, make a plan, talk to people who've done it before, or try some smaller version of it. She didn't need more confidence. She needed more evidence. Confidence is often the result, not the requirement. Years ago, when I applied to Wharton's Executive MBA program, one of the application essay questions asked why I thought I could handle working while going to school. I was pretty confident I could, but not because I had some unusually strong faith in myself. It's a very difficult program, but because I had the receipts. I was already a founder while attending high school full-time, and that continued while attending Georgetown full-time. This would be the third time I'd balanced work and school, and unlike the first two times, this was a program specifically designed for people who were working. I wasn't thinking, believe in yourself, Catherine, you can do anything. I was thinking, I've literally done this twice. That's a very different kind of confidence. One asks you to manufacture a feeling. The other asks you to look at the evidence. Similarly, when I was learning to perfect the back handspring as a young gymnast, my coach, annoyed at me asking her to stand there just in case, didn't tell me, just be more confident or believe you can. She told me, you have it and you're good at it. I didn't need to summon confidence to do the skill, just muscle memory. Start collecting receipts. The problem, of course, is that sometimes you don't have the receipts yet. You're starting your first company, taking your first management job, giving your first big presentation, or finding clients for your first time, or even going off to college. You may be trying something you have absolutely no evidence you'll be good at. That's when people often think they need confidence the most. But I think they just need action. You do something small, then something slightly harder. You learn, mess up stuff up, and then recover. You try again. And slowly you accumulate evidence in the same way that you accumulate muscle in weight training or train for a race. I'm a big believer in learning by doing. Every time you do something difficult or that pushes your comfort zone, you don't just learn how to do that particular thing. You add another receipt to the pile. I figured that out. I handled that. That went badly, and I recovered. I didn't know how to do this before, and now I do. Eventually, those receipts become something more useful than confidence. They become self-trust. Your receipts are transferable. The best part is that the evidence doesn't have to match the challenge exactly. I was once working with someone who was giving me a demo of a software platform I had never used. And at one point they were trying to find something, and I said, oh, I think it's over there. I said, pointing, to part of the screen where I thought it was, and they found it. Oh, have you used this before? Nope. I had just used a lot of dashboards. I didn't know where that particular button was, but I'd seen enough similar products to have a pretty good guess about how this one would probably worked. The same thing happens with much bigger challenges. You may never have started a company before, but maybe you built something from scratch. You may never have managed a team, but maybe you've gotten a group of people aligned around something difficult. You may never have made this particular hard decision, but you've made other hard decisions and lived with the consequences. The receipt doesn't always say, I've done this before. Sometimes it says, I've figured things out before. That's an incredibly valuable receipt to have. Record the evidence. The problem is that we're often terrible at remembering our own receipts. The failures stick. That awkward presentation, the project that bombed, the job we didn't get, the thing we wish we'd handled differently. Meanwhile, the hundreds of things that went fine disappear almost immediately. You need to record them. Recording it may look like keeping the nice email someone sent you or writing down the problem you solved that you initially had no idea how to solve. Remember the project you thought would overwhelm you until it didn't. Look back at your old emails or old journals and remember how far you've come. We don't need to convince ourselves that we're amazing at everything. None of us are. But we can develop calibrated confidence. We want our belief in ourselves to be grounded in what we actually know, what we've actually done, and what we've demonstrated we can figure out. do hard things. I think about self-trust with running a lot. When I line up for a half marathon, I have a baseline trust. The distance doesn't scare me as I've done that distance quite a bit. My next race won't be easy. I plan to push the pace. The weather could be terrible or I could have a bad day. But I know what 13.1 miles feels like. I know the course and that mile 10 is hilly and I've kept going before, so I'll do it again. I have the receipt. Every time we do something hard, we collect another one, even if the hard thing isn't even directly related. Confidence shouldn't be an unquestioning belief that everything will work out, but rather that when you don't know what to do, you're capable of figuring it out. So the next time you find yourself wishing you were more confident, don't spend too much time trying to feel differently. Ask yourself what evidence would make you more confident. Then go collect it. Action creates evidence. Evidence creates confidence. Keep the receipts.